Hello and welcome to, I don't know what part this is, I think third installment. It's been a few weeks, a couple of weeks, but I've made some decent progress. So I thought I'd show that and then show kind of what I'm doing next. Again, this is more for myself, but if anyone's interested, maybe it could help. Here is what we're looking at. So as you can see, we've had a bit of a change here. The whole front piece has come off. In fact, I'll show you that. You like my sticker door. Oh, and this is my memorial to all my vehicles that I've ever had. It's even missing a few, believe it or not. So here's the front piece. I've actually got it flipped upside down because that's flat as opposed to sitting on these kind of thin sheet metal wheel wells. Gonna be cleaning that up real nice. And then I've got a whole bunch of parts here, fenders, body pieces. That's the transmission oil cooler. Here's my new radiator. I did pull out the ABS unit. Did some research on that, and the bigger tires you run, the less efficient the ABS is, and come to find out it doesn't really work very well in these trucks anyway. So pulled it out, and a lot of guys say they have a lot better braking response without it. So remove that. Let's see. Yeah, removed a whole bunch of stuff. Pretty much ready to pull the motor. Only thing I've got left is to unbolt it from the transmission, and then obviously the motor mounts, and then yank it. I was contemplating doing the transmission, the engine, transmission, and transfer case all in one go, but I think I'll just do the engine for now and then get going on that, pulling it apart, getting it to the machine shop. At the same time, I'll be working on removing the body, getting that popped off. And I'm gonna have my roommate make a dolly for the body to sit on, and that way we can wheel it around, and I'm gonna actually put it around the side yard where you saw the front apron piece there. And then I'll be working on that simultaneously, cleaning it up, sanding it down. I'm actually gonna be, once I've got the body off, I'm renting a heated pressure washer. And I'm gonna be cleaning up the frame real good. It's got just crud all over it. Before I coat it, I want to clean all that up and then have a nice clean surface. Also gonna be spraying down the body real good, especially up on the roof. It's kind of grody up there. Here's a new exhaust I picked up. It's I believe a Magnaflow. It's not the headers. That actually bolts to the headers. I do have the headers right here. There's one and there's two. I actually had to cut it because one of the bolts wouldn't come undone, so I have to still get that off. Here's the mass airflow, no, what do you call this? Throttle body, the intake manifold. I've actually had this off once before and did have it cleaned. Looks decent still, but does definitely. I'm gonna switch out the injectors to some newer, nicer ones. What else? Yeah, I think that covers most of it. Now, what I'd like to do is I'm gonna go underneath and do a sort of a thorough documentation of what's going on underneath. I can't remember if I did that already. I don't think I did. I think I just did mostly in the engine bay. As I'm pulling the motor and eventually going to be pulling, the body and the transmission and the transfer case, I want to make sure that I've got everything documented as to the condition of those, especially when it comes to the leaks. Because I don't want to get it cleaned up and forget, oh crap, where was the bad seal on that? So I am going to do that. Let me get this positioned here. Get some lights underneath. Although I guess I don't really need it. I've got a light on my GoPro. But the more the merrier. Okay. So, I'm going to try to do this in the best way possible so you guys don't get sick. Here's the transfer case. This is where it bolts to the rear drive shaft. We obviously have a pretty significant leak going on here. It looks like this piece here unbolts from the case, so I'm guessing it's that seal, and then potentially whatever this is. Gotta clean that up all real nice. So we've got definitely a leak here. Looks really good on the side. Oh, you know what? Looks like this has actually been apart already. We've got some high temperature silicone here that I don't think is factory. That's good to know. Looks nice and dry up there. Let's go to this other side. Nice and dry. When we get to the transmission, there's definitely something going on up in there, leak-wise. A lot of crud. I can't really see, but there's some buildup around there. And then definitely up in her. I believe this wetness is due to a rear main seal from the engine, but because this is just the bell housing, there's not a whole lot going on there, but I think the rear main seal is bad, and so I mean this whole area is just cruddy like no other. Cruddy is a mix, by the way, of grody and cruddy. Just made it up. Oh, there's some wet stuff. So we got a leak there, and a pretty active one going on. Some sort of sensor. It does also look like the pan's been off before. I was noticing there's, I don't know if it's like silicone or something that's coming off these. There's another piece right here. So my guess is that's been off. Maybe they've serviced that. Let's see, some more wetness back in here. It's almost like the whole pan has just got a bad seal. And then down in here, I'm guessing this gasket. I'll probably be separating the transfer case from the transmission anyway, just clean it all up real good. And then, oh yeah, look at all this red silicone. Man, all of this up there. I don't think that's factory. Could be. It's kind of a mess though. Anyway, I think that documents most of it. So what I'm working on now is bolt up in there, bolt, basically unbolting the engine from the transmission. So what else we got? I know I've got some leaks under here. Oil pan, that'll all be, engine's coming completely apart anyway, so all new gaskets, cleaned up real nice. Not really worried about documenting leaks there, but the transmission, I'm not really going to be going through that, nor the transfer case. I will eventually be servicing the rear axle, which doesn't have a whole lot in terms of leaks. I think there is one right here on the seal on that, which I'll have to do anyway. I'll be rebuilding the axle and then very likely re-gearing it also at the same time. I think 5/27s is what I settled on. I think that's the correct size, because I'd like to do 37 size tires. I think I've got 33s right now, and I was thinking about 35s, but then I was like, well, if I go 35s, I might as well go 37. And then I saw a guy post a picture of a Land Cruiser with 40s on it, and it's unbelievable. Maybe I'll try to actually put a picture of that in right here. And yeah, I was like, oh man, 40s would be sweet. But then you gotta like trim a whole bunch, and it, yeah, 37s alone are a tight fit. 40s are just ridiculous. Anyways, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go take a nap. Yeah, the only thing, I've never actually pulled a motor before, but I do have an engine hoist and a neighbor with this, with a stand that's gonna let me borrow that. The thing I'm most worried about, to be honest, is, see if I can kick this light up a bit. Unbolting it, there's a few bolts, so the bell housing kind of comes up around here, and there's, I swear, like a few bolts behind the engine that somehow I have to be able to undo. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to be able to get to those. So I'm kind of not wanting to do that, but I'm going to have to eventually. See, like, oh, there's a bolt that I know that's behind this little bracket, but like, there's no room to get in there. I can feel it, but how in the world am I gonna get that bolt out? I don't know. But people have done it. Many people have pulled these motors. So I can do it too. I believe in myself. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, you're my favorite. And wish me luck, because I'm gonna need it, as usual. Okay, bye.